If you feel tired all the time, it's not because you're weak, it's because something is stealing your energy. You wake up already drained, fake your way through the day, then collapse at night wondering why nothing ever changes. I lived in that fog for years, blaming myself for being lazy when the truth was hidden. Energy drainers were bleeding me dry. In this video, I'm exposing every single one so you can finally take your power back. Let's be real, your energy isn't being drained by big events. It's being stolen in tiny moments. The second you grab your phone, your brain's already on overload. Maybe someone needs you. Maybe something urgent happened. Or maybe, if you're honest, you just don't want to sit alone with your own thoughts. That heavy weight in your chest isn't random. It's the cost of waking up reactive instead of intentional. It feels like someone siphoned your energy while you slept, and by the time you roll out of bed, you're already running on empty. Here's what nobody wants to admit. If you're wiped out by 2 p.m. every day, something's wrong. People act like being exhausted means you're working hard, but it just means you're running yourself into the ground. You can't actually succeed if you have no energy left. You're not just tired from late nights working, you're completely drained, like someone's sucking the life out of you, but you've convinced yourself that's just what ambition costs. When I first started freelancing, I had the energy of someone twice my age, but half the wisdom. I'd throw coffee at the exhaustion, post motivational quotes about the grind, and wonder why I felt like a fraud when everyone else seemed to love the hustle. But the truth, burnout doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've been sacrificing yourself just to earn a seat at tables that were never built for you. That's not resilience, it's self-destruction dressed up as ambition. Your worth isn't measured by how much you can endure before you break. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is walk away from what's killing you, even if everyone else calls it success. The turning point came when I realized something crucial. This exhaustion wasn't happening to me. I was letting it happen. I'll show you exactly how I stopped the bleeding. But first, let me show you what's actually draining you every day. The 5 energy thieves that were killing my focus while I thought I was just staying connected. Silent drainer. Number 1, people-pleasing disguised as networking. Here's what nobody tells you. When you're starting out, everyone says it's about relationships and connections, so you say yes to every coffee chat, networking event, and quick call to pick your brain. You respond to randos within minutes, smile through soul-draining conversations, and call it building your network. My friend, I spent my first year in business going to networking events I hated, having coffee with people who just wanted free consulting, and saying yes to collaborations that benefited everyone except me. I thought being helpful would lead to opportunities. Instead, I became known as the person you could interrupt anytime, ask for free advice, and count on to say yes, even when it hurt my own projects. I was building a reputation as reliable, but I was also building a business on the foundation of my own exhaustion. My friend, sacrificing your peace to keep potential connections comfortable isn't networking. It's slow professional suicide. Every time you do this, a piece of your authentic voice gets buried under what you think people want to hear. The people worth connecting with don't need you to perform or shrink yourself to fit their expectations. Real opportunities come when you show up as yourself, not when you've mastered the art of being whoever the room needs you to be. Silent drainer number 2, fake productivity. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Your calendar looks great. Everything's color-coded. You've got apps tracking your apps. You're busy, but your business isn't moving forward. I was the king of productivity. I'd spend 2 hours setting up the perfect project management system, then 3 hours watching videos about time blocking, then another hour organizing my digital workspace. I felt busy, accomplished even, but I wasn't creating anything valuable. Why? Because productivity feels safer than putting yourself out there. If you look busy enough with systems and optimization, you don't have to face the terrifying reality that maybe you're scared of being rejected, judged, or told you're not good enough yet. But hiding behind preparation is just fear with a productivity planner. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't closed by another course or system. It's closed by doing the uncomfortable thing you've been avoiding while convincing yourself you're not ready. Speaking of fake productivity, what's the time waster that traps you most? Is it endless research, tweaking your website, or something else that feels like work but isn't? Drop it in the comments. Your honesty might be the exact wake-up call someone else needs to break out of the same cycle. Silent drainer number 3, constant comparison, the success theater. Let me tell you this, my friend, social media comparison is a trap. You see someone's 7-figure agency or Bali passive income posts, and suddenly your third client feels pathetic. You wonder if you're moving too slow, thinking too small. Here's the truth. You're comparing your reality to their marketing. They're not posting about unpaid invoices, panic attacks, or cash flow stress. They're selling an image. I followed an entrepreneur constantly flexing his six-figure businesses and passive income. It made me feel small. 6 months later, he admitted he was burnt out, broke, and living off credit cards to fake the lifestyle he was posting. You're measuring your messy reality against someone else's curated highlight reel. It kills your ability to appreciate real progress. Stop comparing your chapter 3 to someone else's Instagram filter. Most of what you see online is performance, not reality. Silent drainer, number 4, unspoken resentment, the professional mask. My friend, that invisible weight you're carrying, that's unexpressed resentment. You think keeping everyone happy is professional. It's not. It's turning you into a pressure cooker with a professional smile. I had a client texting me urgent requests at 9 p.m. that weren't urgent. I'd just do the work and feel bitter for days. I was training him to disrespect my boundaries while pretending I didn't have any. Every unspoken truth drains your energy. It festers, keeps you up at night replaying moments you should have spoken up but didn't. You're not exhausted because business is hard. You're exhausted because you're carrying 6 months of things you should have said but swallowed instead. Say the thing. Set the boundary. Stop sacrificing your peace to avoid uncomfortable conversations. Silent drainer number 5, decision clutter, the opportunity paralysis. That pile of half-finished projects isn't harmless clutter. It's decision fatigue eating your focus alive. Every draft whispers you're behind. Every abandoned idea reminds you of lost momentum. Every shiny opportunity drags you further from what was already working. You're half working on everything, completing nothing, and wondering why you feel stuck despite being busy. Pick one thing, my friend, finish it, the rest can wait. These 5 energy thieves share one thing in common. They make you feel like the problem is you. It's not. My friend, you're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You're leaking energy like a phone that won't hold a charge. The hustle world calls you weak if you're not grinding 18-hour days or bragging about 5 a.m. routines. What they don't see is the truth. They don't see you scrolling for hours, not out of apathy, but because your brain is so overstimulated, it forgot how to rest. They don't see the pile of unfinished projects crowding your desk. Not laziness, but paralysis from too many options and zero clarity. They don't see you frozen over a blank email to a client, knowing what you want to say, but unable to put it into words. Struggling means you're still human in a system built to drain you dry. Real strength shows up when you admit you're drowning and pull yourself out, without waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to stop. And here's something nobody tells you, my friend. People who don't care aren't reading this. You care so deeply it's freezing you in place. You care about every opportunity, every piece of advice, every success story someone posts online. You carry guilt about not working enough while drowning in how much there is to do. Last year, I didn't leave my apartment for 5 days straight. I had 3 client projects due, a proposal to write, content I'd promised to create, but I couldn't move. Every action felt like swimming through concrete. I kept thinking, what is wrong with me? The answer wasn't laziness, it was emotional and mental debt. I'd been holding in every frustration, every doubt, every moment of imposter syndrome for months, trying to maintain this image of having it all figured out. My body finally hit the emergency brake. I'd been running on fumes, burning myself out just to prove I belonged in rooms where everyone looked more confident than I ever felt. That's not laziness, that's your body forcing you to stop because you won't do it yourself. Listen when your body talks before it has to scream. The burnout you push through today becomes the breakdown you can't ignore tomorrow, and no achievement is worth losing yourself in the process. My friend, what those day-in-the-life entrepreneur videos never show you is the crash. Your brain is drowning in digital quicksand, and you don't even realize it's happening. When I started my first business, I believed being plugged in was part of the hustle. I woke up and instantly scrolled Instagram to check what other freelancers were posting, LinkedIn to see who landed new clients, Twitter for industry news. A dozen chat windows opened before I even drank water. I told myself it was market research. In reality, it was chaos disguised as productivity. In 30 seconds, your brain takes hit after hit. A headline spikes anxiety. A LinkedIn win fuels inadequacy. A TikTok hack triggers guilt. An Instagram reel makes you feel behind. That's not research. That's self-sabotage. What we call staying informed is actually cognitive overload. Your attention, the most valuable resource you have, is being scattered and sold off, leaving you depleted before real work even begins. The scariest part? You adapt to the chaos. Silence starts to feel threatening. Boredom feels like falling behind. Your brain rewires itself to believe rest is laziness and stillness is failure. But clarity doesn't come from more input. It comes from space, reflection, and intentional focus. Sometimes the most productive act is nothing at all. That shutdown wasn't random. It was my brain pulling the emergency brake after months of assault. I wasn't just tired from working. I was bankrupt from treating my attention like it was infinite. Attention is your true currency. Spend it with intention, or you'll end up broke in ways no amount of success can fix. Here's something that took me 2 years to understand. Anxiety and fake productivity feed each other like a toxic loop, draining your energy, wrecking your focus, and killing real progress. You feel anxious about not being successful enough, not being where those other entrepreneurs are at your age. So you create elaborate systems to be more productive. Morning routines, time blocking techniques, project management systems, goal-setting frameworks. You spend more time organizing your productivity than producing anything valuable. But the anxiety isn't about productivity, it's about worth. You've convinced yourself that your value as a person is tied to your business output. Rest feels like laziness. Taking breaks feels like falling behind. Having fun feels irresponsible when you could be building something. So you stay busy to avoid the anxiety, but the busyness creates more anxiety because you're not actually accomplishing anything meaningful. You're just moving stuff around, optimizing systems that don't need to exist, researching things you already know enough about to start. Motion without direction is just exhaustion with extra steps. The work that actually matters usually scares you, and that fear is exactly how you know where to begin. If this hit a little too close to home, you'll want to check out my newsletter. That's where I share the unpolished stuff I don't put anywhere else. The experiments, the tools that actually work, and the lessons I'm learning in real time. Think of it as a behind-the-scenes roadmap for building without burning out. If you're ready for clarity over chaos, the link is in description. I would love to see you there. Let me tell you about the sneaky stuff, the things you think are helping you cope with business stress, but are actually making everything worse. Fake helper number 1, information consumption isn't progress. You know the routine. You're researching. One more YouTube video about marketing strategies. One more blog post about scaling. One more podcast about entrepreneurship. You feel like you're working on your business, but you're avoiding working on your business. My friend, your brain feels active and engaged, but you're not creating anything. You're not reaching out to prospects. You're not improving your services. You're just consuming information that makes you feel behind, because now you should be implementing 17 different strategies. This is procrastination disguised as professional development. You're feeding your brain more input when what you need is output. Fake helper number 2, overthinking isn't strategic planning. I'm just trying to plan this out properly, you tell yourself at 3 a.m., thinking through every possible scenario. No, you're trying to control uncertainty with analysis paralysis. You're rehearsing every worst-case scenario like it's going to prevent them. But the truth? Real strategic planning involves making decisions and taking action. Overthinking is living in fear twice. Once in your head, and again when reality does whatever it's going to do, regardless of how much you worry about it. Your brain isn't protecting you, it's keeping you stuck. Fake helper number 3, caffeine isn't sustainable energy. My friend, I love coffee, but I had to admit it was fueling my stress more than my focus. You're not energized, you're chemically forcing your body to ignore its need for rest. When that crash hits at 4 p.m., that's not fatigue. That's your body telling you that grinding 16-hour days isn't productive. It's performative exhaustion. Caffeine masks the symptoms, but deepens the cause. You're not fixing your energy problems. You're borrowing energy from tomorrow to get through today. Fake helper number 4, busyness isn't business building. You think because you're always working, you're always making progress, but working on the wrong things with great intensity is still working on the wrong things. Checking email every 10 minutes isn't customer service, it's avoidance. Reorganizing your workspace for the 5th time this month isn't productivity, it's procrastination with organization. I spent an entire week building a complex social media content calendar instead of just posting consistently. I told myself it was being strategic. Really, I was avoiding the vulnerability of putting my actual thoughts out there where people could judge them. Being busy doesn't mean being effective. Motion doesn't mean progress. Now here's where most people quit on themselves. They see the problem, understand what's draining them, but convince themselves fixing it means starting over from zero. So they keep bleeding energy because at least it's familiar bleeding. But that's the trap. You never feel successful enough to rest. The goalposts keep moving. The truth, you can't build something sustainable on an unsustainable foundation. This is how you reclaim your energy without abandoning your ambition. Here's the real question. How do you fix this without burning out or giving up on your business? Because the answer isn't quitting and running back to a corporate paycheck. The answer is building systems that protect your energy while still moving your business forward. Here's how. Strategy number 1. Learn to say no without destroying relationships. My friend, you cannot always say yes to every request from your friends. You also need to learn how to say no. You think you need every opportunity, every connection, every potential project. But no is a complete sentence, and it's also a complete business strategy. I started saying no to projects that didn't align with my goals, even when I needed the money. No to coffee chats that were just disguised requests for free consulting. No to collaborative projects where I'd do most of the work for a fraction of the credit. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you're not just being nice, you're stealing time and energy from projects that could actually grow your business. Start small, decline new projects for now, and set a future date to revisit. Limit calls this week and handle only the essentials through email. Boundaries don't burn bridges, they protect your energy and keep you moving forward. Boundaries without guilt are how you protect your energy for the work that actually moves your life forward. People who respect you will understand, and the ones who don't were never going to value your time anyway. Strategy number 2, protect your deep work. Time like revenue depends on it. Because it does. The first 2 hours of your day should not be spent checking messages, scrolling social media, or responding to client emails. If the first thing you do is react to everyone else's priorities, you've lost control of your day before it started. I blocked out 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. as sacred creation time. Phone on silent, notifications off, door closed. This is when I do the work that actually moves my business forward. Creating, strategizing, building. Give yourself this time every single day, no exceptions. Your business growth happens in deep work, not in shallow response time. The hours you guard fiercely become the foundation everything else is built on. Treat your focus like the limited resource it actually is, because once you give it away to every distraction, no amount of hustle can buy it back. Strategy number 3, curate your input like your sanity depends on it. If it drains you, unfollow it. Your mental diet is just as important as your physical diet. You wouldn't eat garbage all day and expect to feel energized. Stop consuming digital garbage and expecting mental clarity. I unfollowed 80% of the business accounts I was following and replaced them with accounts that actually taught me useful skills or inspired genuine action, not just motivation porn. What you consume daily shapes how you think, and most of that content was designed to keep you feeling behind, not help you move forward. Protect your attention like your bank account, because bad inputs drain you just as fast as bad spending drains your wallet. Strategy number 4, make rest a business strategy. This isn't about work-life balance. This is about sustainable performance. Real rest isn't Netflix while scrolling rest. I'm talking about actual recovery. Lying down, eyes closed, phone off, brain quiet. Going on walks without podcasts. Sitting in silence without immediately trying to fill it with productivity. True rest feels uncomfortable at first because we've trained ourselves to associate stillness with wasting time. But the version of you that emerges from real recovery does better work in 2 focused hours than the burnt-out version does in 12 distracted ones. Strategy number 5, focus on one thing at a time, the power of boring. My friend, you don't need 17 different revenue streams or be on every social media platform all the time. Pick one thing, get really good at it, make money from it, then consider expanding. I spent 6 months just focusing on one type of client with one specific service. It was boring compared to all the business ideas I had, but it was profitable. Boring made me money. Exciting made me exhausted. Strategy number 6, build systems that actually serve you. Not systems that make you look productive, systems that actually reduce your workload. Template responses for common questions, a simple process for onboarding clients, a basic way to track your finances. Don't build systems to impress other entrepreneurs. Build systems to buy yourself time and energy to focus on what matters, serving clients and growing your skills. Strategy number 7, practice disappointing people. It's a business skill. Here's the one that might hurt others. You will disappoint people when you start protecting your energy and time. But this isn't personal growth. This is professional development. You're not everyone's backup plan. Build a business, not run a charity. The people who truly support your success will understand. The ones who only valued your availability will find someone else to drain. That's not a loss. That's quality control. My friend, disappointing the wrong people makes room for the right people. The clients who respect boundaries pay better. The relationships built on mutual value last longer. The energy you save builds your business faster. You can't serve everyone and serve anyone well. Choose who gets your best. Let the rest be disappointed. The people who matter will understand when you say no, and the ones who don't are always going to drain you anyway. Disappointing strangers is a small price to pay for showing up fully for the work and people that actually count. Here's the truth: your exhaustion is just feedback. Your mind and body are saying, this pace isn't sustainable. Your intuition says, there's a better way to build something meaningful. And there is a better way. Not more productive, not more optimized, just more aligned with how you actually want to work and live, my friend. That better way has been there the whole time, buried under the noise about hustle culture and grinding. It's the part of you that got excited about your business idea in the first place. The part that wants to solve real problems for real people. The part that knows you can build something valuable without sacrificing your sanity. Your energy isn't a renewable resource you can keep burning through. It's the foundation everything else is built on. Every client you serve, every decision you make, every opportunity you take, all of it runs on the energy you have left. Most people spend their whole lives wondering why they're always exhausted, never realizing they're voluntarily bleeding out through 1,000 tiny cuts they could have closed years ago. You now know what's draining you. The only question left is whether you'll actually do something about it or keep pretending exhaustion is just part of the game. If you found this video helpful, this next video right here will take you even further. Your choice, your life. Start now.